Okay, so check this out too. I have another video that I want to make about some hypocrisy. So, it's been, in my opinion, very difficult to get this officer and to go to the police department and to get all this stuff worked out so I can get this guy accountable for his actions for trying to sucker punch me and knock me out from behind and assaulting me. I could have taken it into my own hands and beat him up, but I was like, all right, I'm going to do the right thing, call the cops because there's cameras right here. And the hypocrisy about all this is I was spearfishing the other day out in the ocean, and I was roughly 100 feet, which is where you need to be legally to spear the fish, right, from the jetty. And I was spearing some spadefish out there with two other people, and I was in their boat that was registered. The current was like one of the strongest currents I've ever been in my life, and it pulled me close to the jetty. And all of a sudden, the FWC shows up out of the blue. I mean, they're just there, just like that, like right when I'm out. And it's like, you know, it's like they are protecting the fish more than they're protecting me. Like, it's just like the hypocrisy, like how much they're guarding those fish out there, and just the when you compare that to, I'm thankful they gave me a warning because I told them I had just been assaulted, and I explained myself really well. I was like, hey, y'all can use your depth finder on your boat and go out there and see the school of spadefish. Like, you can tell they're 100 feet from the jetty. By the way, look, there's two spadefish right here in our boat. Like, you can clearly see we're getting the spadefish, which is legal. And you can look on your depth finder and see that they're definitely at least 100 feet off the jetty. But he caught me with the spear, though, because the current was so strong, it was pulling me, and so it pushed me closer to the rocks where the spadefish weren't, because I was drifting. They would drop me in. I would do my shot or whatever, hop in the boat, and then they pull me back, because the current was just ripping literally like the Cahaba River in Alabama. But my point is, like, the amount of time and the amount of energy and effort I have to go through with, like, getting these people to basically just check the cameras for someone that assaulted me and tried to literally, I mean, how do I know this guy didn't try to kill me? Like, what if he would have knocked me out? He could have, like, just kept beating me or something. Like, it's just crazy to think how much effort I have to go through to try to get them to do the right thing, which I guess they just need some time. We're going to see how everything plays out, you know. But you know, barely drifting off of, you know, where I'm supposed to be. The FWC is like right there, just over a fish. And so I just couldn't help but see that in our culture, in our society today, you know. You know, I'm grateful that we have the FWC to protect our waters and everything, but I just couldn't help. I mean, I'm obviously not complaining and being mad at the FWC. Like, I'm very grateful they gave me a warning. You know, they could have given me a fine because technically it was illegal for me to have a spear in my hands being within 100 foot of the jetty, although I wasn't spearing right there on the rocks. I just happened to be pushed that close to it. But it's just kind of crazy. I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm like, man, I got assaulted, and like takes me so long to deal with all that, and then here comes, like, you know, I can just see people with their monocular, like, oh, how he better not shoot the wrong fish, you know. And so I don't know. It's just kind of funny to see things in our society. But God help our society. God bless the FWC. God bless the Riviera Police Department. And God bless the dude that tried sucker punching me. Honestly, I'm not even going to say his name. I know his name. But I honestly want the best for him. But if he tries touching me again, I'm really gonna hurt him really bad, because I'm not gonna let him beat on me. You know, I'm gonna defend myself, and I mean, I told him, I was like, dude, you realize a newborn baby could pull a trigger? Like, it's not that hard. But the question is, can you not pull a trigger? Can you actually 1v1 me like a real man? Like, can you fight me? Like, you realize it's a coward to, like, mess with someone or try to harm them. Like, anybody could do that. But can you actually, like, 1v1 me, bro? No. But anyways, I'm not trying to get into that pride thing. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we need strong men, believers in God, that are willing to stand up. You know, I believe, like, I turned the other cheek by not beating him up right then, you know. But there's a time, you know, why did Jesus tell his disciples to have two swords on him? Look up that story. He's like, that'll be enough. If you look at the 12 disciples, 2 of them carried swords. You know, Peter, if you recall, when the Romans came to get Jesus and Jesus rebuked Peter, Peter had a sword on him, and he says he cut off the ear of the high priest, the servant of the high priest. And then Jesus rebuked him for doing that and grew it, I believe, for cutting. Yeah, he rebuked him for doing that and then performed a miracle and grew his ear back. But, you know, why were they carrying swords? You know, love bears all things. You know, there's a time to protect yourself. And so we got to use wisdom. You know, there's a time to turn the other cheek when you know that you have that strength to do that. And there's a time to protect yourself. You know, there's a time to that's where we have to use the Holy Spirit discernment of you know, we're in God's hands. So, but you do want to stand up. So those are some of my thoughts today. Much love.